What is going on here? A lot of pop-ups. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of pop-ups here. Let's see. Hey, there's a lot of pop-ups. Oh no. Let's start. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. All right, good morning, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers. This is our daily ecom planning session where we talk about some strategies and tips to help you to become that $1 million ecom seller that you've always wanted to be. So I come to you every morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time to talk about it. We are live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. So you can go there and download the daily ecom planning checklist. Also encourage you to grab the e-commerce planner. You can go to myecommerceplanner.com to grab that. And if you feel like you need a little bit of coaching, a little bit of help, a little bit of direction with your daily e-commerce schedule, then you can schedule a free coaching session at ecomsellers.com and click on coaching to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. I'd be more than happy to help you on your e-commerce journey. Again, my name is Nicole Whitlock, and this is my passion, helping people to get organized and get structured in their e-commerce business and to hear their success stories around um, achieving their goals and getting to that $1 million seller status. So, with that being said, today's topic is consistency. So, I randomly chose two articles, and I don't think I like either one of them. But we're going to check them out. I don't know. I'm not trying to be biased here. I don't like them, but that's okay. Uh, both pages have a lot of pop ups. So, I think that's kind of weird. Um, Let me just check one more time. So one of them is entrepreneurs in a box, and that is where we're going to look up consistency. And then the other one, let me just see where the other one is coming from. About consistency, because you just never know. We just changed my sort. See if I can find something this year, and we find a better article. Not that I'm trying to be biased. I just don't like a lot of pop-ups. I'm like, okay, you got a lot of pop-ups. I'm not interested. Oh, well, okay. Well, it looks like some tips to growing a successful business. There's a couple of them, but none of them are talking about consistency. So the goal is consistency, is our topic today. So if I don't find anything, we're just going to move on with what we got. Hmm. Ways to turn a startup into a thriving business. Those are all good. Consistency steps. They are not focusing. 6 rules of successful brand consistency. 15 businesses to admire for stellar branding consistency. They are definitely talking about branding. I don't want to talk about branding. I just want to talk about just being consistent. So let's just look up consistency. Rules to being more consistent, developing good habits. Okay, well, that was probably not bad. That's where we got this from before. So, no, that one has a lot of pop ups. Then we saw that one. So we've already seen that. Um, okay. Well, not how to maintain consistency and money. Okay. And trading. Insurance sales. Okay, guys. Well, we may not find a consistency focused on being an entrepreneur. So we might have some random consistency today. That's all right. We're going to work with what we got. So, since today's topic is consistency, creating fitness room mistakes, referral generation, so you have to stay consistent with goals. Maybe. Yeah, developing good habits comes up. So, how to stay consistent and achieve your dreams. Okay, we're going to try that one. We'll see if there's a lot of pop ups. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so this comes to us from bitofselfcare.com, bitofselfcare.com. It says 12 tips on how to stay consistent and achieve your dreams. We're going to see what they have to say. So, this is all about consistency, hopefully. So, what we do is every day prior to going through our daily checklist is I go through and I find an article around the specific topic. Today's topic is consistency. And of course, we know that we need consistency in order to achieve our long-term goals. So we're going to check out this article and see if it's worth anything. So you can check out the article. I'm live inside the e-commerce planning Facebook group. Again, it is bitofselfcare.com. 12 steps to stay consistent and achieve your goals. So we're going to see what they have to say. Number one, it says choose one goal, one dream. Well, I think it is good to choose one goal, one dream. I mean, if your main goal is to become $1 million seller, then that is the main goal. And then you're going to have several sub goals that go with that because there's some action and activity you got to do on a daily basis to get there. So I agree that you got to choose one goal that you're going to focus towards, the thing that you're driving towards or working towards. Number two is a marathon and not a sprint. Absolutely. It is always a marathon and not a sprint. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be $1 million seller, just like you're not going to wake up tomorrow and drop 100 pounds. You could chop off a leg to be able to get there much faster, but I don't think that's the way you want to go. So it is not it is not a sprint. It is a marathon, and it is going to take action every day, little by little, just to get there, to get to where you want to be. Number three, celebrate failures. Oh, okay. I agree with that 100%. I talk about that every day. We're going to celebrate our successes, whatever progress we make in our business, however far we get, we always celebrate our successes. So I agree with that 1000%. Close your eyes and do it anyway. There's going to be a lot of stuff you don't want to do. There's going to be a lot of stuff you don't feel like doing. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you just are like, not today. But in order to stay consistent, to build that habit of whatever you're trying to develop or wherever you're trying to go in your business, it is going to require regular action in the midst of not feeling like you want to, not feeling like you like to, not feeling like you're not doing anything in your business. This isn't helping. You know, it does help. Going for a walk every single day if you're trying to lose weight will help you get to your weight loss goal. You got to do some other stuff with that, but you got to eat a little better. You got to get a little more rest. You got to drink a little more water. But all of those together, combined over time, you will see the results. So, in the midst of not wanting to do it anyway. Number five, you are what you do. Okay. So they're talking about daily mantras and affirmations. So my daily mantra and affirmation is actually reading the schedule out loud. So that way it brings me back to where I'm supposed to be. There's a lot of other things that I do, but that is definitely one of those things to help it stick in your life and in your mind. Talk to your emotions. Number six. Okay. So I'm going to read what it says. There will always be days when your emotions are on a mission to take over the world. Yeah. Sit down and talk to them. Find out what's bothering you. Are they all over the place? Are they worried about something? Success, failure? What is it? So I agree. So sitting down and talking to yourself because sometimes there's some underlying stuff going on. That's probably very true. This has been a very stressful month for me. Like there's a lot of stuff happening this month. And this month is always stressful. It's a reminder all the time that my son is autistic, and at some point he's going to be in this world as an adult, and I have to deal with all of the emotions that go with that. He is my why as to why I do what I do, and well, both of my boys are, and it's challenging when you hear story after story after story, especially this month more than any other time, and it's mentally draining and exhausting. So yeah, I get it. Number seven, remember your why. The irony there. My son is my why. I'm reminded every time he comes in and says, "Morning, mom," and I'm like, "Okay." Or in the middle of the night when he won't go to sleep. Yeah, I'm reminded all the time. He's my why. Number eight, be realistic. Absolutely, I agree that you should develop realistic goals because if you feel like that you can't achieve anything, you'll feel deflated and you'll stop being consistent and you won't move on. That is the story I hear over and over again when I'm coaching people about, well, this e-commerce thing doesn't work. And that's not true. This e-commerce thing does work. It's just the fact that you are not, whatever it is that is stopping you, that's stopping you from being consistent, if you give it enough time, you'll get there. It's the combination of people not building realistic goals, thinking they're going to list something and make $1 million. And number two, thinking that it is a sprint, not a marathon. Like, oh, I'm supposed to be rich overnight. No, that's not how this works. That is not how it works. There might be a handful of people that works for, but that is not how this works. Number nine, find friends. Yes, find a community that you can be around to help you to be consistent. Find your group. Find your just so that way you guys can motivate each other and you can help lift up each other and they can lift up you. So definitely find your community and let's celebrate your successes. Number 10, schedule days off. I agree 100% on that. You do have to have some time where you're committed to just yourself, your self care, your family. Um, and so it may not be a day for me, it may be a few hours, but I do got to make sure that I have dedicated time with my boys and I spend that. So you do need a break from whatever it is you're trying to accomplish or you're working to get there. Number 11, do the most fun task first. I don't know. I mean, if it is fun, yeah, maybe. I think that, my philosophy is you got to find your most productive time of the day and go with that. And then you do the things that require deep thought in that or things that are going to be the most time consuming in that window. Getting through a bunch of stuff really quick is also awesome. So routine helps you by doing the most fun thing first so you can get that quick reward first thing in the morning or first thing whenever you start working in your business. Fantastic. I celebrate whatever process works because that technique does work for some people. They get a win and then that motivates them to do the next thing and they get another win and that motivates them to do the next thing, and so they get a momentum around wins, and that is listed in the weekly planning session. There's a list of different processes to help you to stay consistent in your business, and that is one of them. So, number 12, enjoy the process. Absolutely. I agree that you should enjoy the process since it is a marathon and not a sprint. So if you're not having fun, I mean, some of the stuff that you do, you're going to have to do. And at some point, when you make enough money, you can outsource it. But until then, you got to do it. So this is not a bad article. I actually like this one. So I'm going to write this one down and keep it for the future. I'm not going to do the other ones because there's just a lot of pop ups on them. And I'm not really sure about the weirdness of them. But anyway, I hope that was helpful to you. And we are going to move on to our daily checklist. So again, my name is Nicole Whitlock. I am with eCom Sellers. My goal, my prayer, my mission for you is to help you to achieve your goals on your e-commerce journey. If your goal is to become $1 million seller, I want to help you do that. I want to be your biggest cheerleader. I want to celebrate all your successes with you. And so we host a daily e-com planning session in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. You can join there, go in there, absolutely free. And then you can also schedule a 20-minute coaching session with me if you want to sit down, look at your schedule. You can go to ecomsellers.com, click on coaching, and schedule your free 20-minute session. Let's look at that schedule. Let's open the books. Let's peel back the onion. Let's pull over the sheets and let's see what's up. I can help you on that journey. I believe that there are fundamental things that every e-commerce seller does in their business, no matter what. Um, there's 5 core things, well, technically 6 core things that every e-commerce seller does or should be doing in their e-commerce business in order to achieve their goals. And so it doesn't matter if you're doing
Hey,
drop
mama.
shipping or eBay, Etsy, Amazon, Shopify, uh, print on demand, private label. It doesn't matter. White label, it does not matter. You're still doing these 5 or 6 core things. And so in the daily ecom planning session, we kind of go through some of the things that you're going to be doing on a regular basis. We also have the weekly planning session. This week, we're going to be doing the weekly planning session probably at 6 o'clock because I have a special needs Easter egg hunt on Saturday morning. And this week, we also have the monthly planning session Sunday at 7 o'clock. So this weekly planning session is going to be at 6. I'm going to be so tired. And the monthly planning session for the month of May dun, 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 is going to be at 7 on Sunday. So I hope you'll join us. And with that being said, let's go through our daily checklist, shall we? Let's go through the daily checklist. All right. So the first thing is that you can download the daily checklist directly in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. Um, as we go through the daily checklist, these are things that you should be thinking about or doing, and you can do some modification of these in your business every single day. So the first one is hopefully you're setting aside at least 15 minutes or 5 minutes the night before so you can go through the process of um, looking at how today went. So, in this example, the night before would be assessing how did Wednesday go? Did you achieve your goals on Wednesday? If you did, let's celebrate those successes. Did you get through your checklist? Were you able to mark several things off of the to-do list or go through your schedule and stay on task all day? If you were, congratulations. If you weren't, we're still going to say congratulations because if you were able to move and mark off a few things, that's a good thing. We know that there's going to be interruptions, disruptions in your day. That's just part of life. things that are going to happen in your life that you don't have any control over. It happens to all of us. Emergencies is what those are called. Stuff that's planned is not an emergency. You actually put it on your schedule. So there's a difference. But in any case, we do celebrate the progress that we make in our business. And then we do that assessment so we can figure out what we need to move into tomorrow. So that's why we do the assessment. And it helps us to build a better schedule for Wednesday in the future. Number two on the list that we do the night before is we go through and update our daily tracking stats. So you document the number of hours you worked in your business. How many listings did you create? How many listings did you rework? What was your mileage for the day? What was your expenses for the day? How many listing ads did you create? Or what were your sales? What were your profits? All of those things, and there's many others, you're going to document those in your daily planning session. Or sorry, daily planner. So if you don't have an ecom planner, go grab it at myecomplanner.com. There's a digital version and a physical version. You can put that in your daily stats. Um, then the next thing we do on our list is we go through and look at our online schedule for the day. Is there anything that's on your online calendar that you need to be mindful of? Things that you have to do for your job or things that you have to do for your home. What's on your schedule? Most of us, we use an online calendar, so we might use Gmail, we might use Yahoo, we might use iCloud, we may use different kinds of calendars, whatever they are. And then also your job calendars. Nothing like going into the office and forgetting you have a meeting with somebody because you've been spending the morning wrestling with your kids and you completely forgot about your day. So again, being mindful of what you got going on first thing in the morning is going to help you wake up to be focused on getting through that thing and planning for that disruption in the middle of your day. And then the last thing is to build the schedule for tomorrow. That's the schedule that we built for today, Thursday. So as we go through that process, we're going to write down all the things that we have to do. We're going to build that schedule. Now, here's the deal. If you participate in the weekly planning session, we build what's called a weekly template. And from that weekly template, we build the actual schedule. Dun, dun, dun. So that means that there is already an actual schedule for Thursday out there on your list if you've gone through that exercise. If you've never gone through that exercise, I invite you to come join us, or you can go into the e-commerce planning Facebook group or go to Clubhouse. You can go listen to that session. So we go through that process of pulling out our actual and focusing on it for Thursday because we got to build a schedule for Thursday. Then we step into today. We get up, we do whatever our morning routine is. And if this is our morning routine, then we do this. But we do our morning routine, get our coffee, go for a walk, whatever that happens to be. And we're going to step through today's checklist. So today's checklist comprises of 5 things. The first thing is that we're going to review yesterday's schedule and we're going to fill in the holes. What happens is when you look at the schedule late at night, just before you go to bed, you're probably tired. It's been a long day. You're exhausted. So you might miss something. So the goal is to make sure that we don't miss anything. So we're going to go through the schedule today. We're going to look at it from yesterday, and we're going to make sure we didn't miss anything. We're going to add that one thing that we did that maybe took an hour that we didn't write down because we are working to regain control of where we're spending time. Are we wasting time on crap? Are we doing things that are taking us longer than we think they are? Are we just blowing time because we're out there on social media or binge watching something? Or we're just hanging out to talk to friends in the backyard, drinking a beer next to the fire pit? Like, what are we doing? Things that we could be investing in helping us to grow our business or to help us to get more organized in our life. Because I will tell you, as you get more organized in your business, you actually start to get more organized in your life. Things that are bad, like maybe you have a horrible bedtime routine or a horrible morning routine, over time with consistency will get better. You'll be like, oh my gosh, we're running like a well-oiled machine first thing in the morning now. So that's the goal, is to get there. So the only way to do that is we kind of reassess, how did Wednesday go? What did we get done? What did we not get done? Did we actually have an inclusive list or did we miss some stuff? So fill in the holes. That's the goal. Fill in the holes so we can build a better Wednesday schedule in the future. And we can increase our awareness of where we are wasting time. Because sometimes we are wasting time. Time is finite. We don't get any more of it. The next thing is step 2 is that we go through the weekly priorities and weekly habits. Look, it's the third full week of April. Extremely important to know that because you have not only weekly priorities and weekly habits that you have to achieve, but you also have monthly. So, what were the monthly goals that you established? If you haven't satisfied them, if you haven't completed them, if you haven't achieved them, then you might be in trouble. This might be bad. because you should be more than halfway through the list because this is the third full week of April, and it happens to be the end of the third full week. So at this point, you got like 10 days, maybe 11, to achieve your goals for the rest of the month. I think 10. Um, is it doable? Yeah, it's doable, but you're going to have to hustle hard. So you can't have a list that you started off with on April the 1st of 25 items to accomplish for the month of April. And then today you still have 25 items undone. Not good. Let's get there. Let's get after it. So you need to know what those things are. You need to know what the priorities are that are for this week. You defined and set the priorities in your weekly planning session. So whatever those priorities are, you should be more than halfway through that list. Otherwise, you're probably going to be working on them today, tomorrow, and Saturday. That's all you got. So increase your awareness of that. That's going to possibly force you to reevaluate what you have on your Thursday schedule that you wrote last night. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're clipping along just fine and everything is going well. So we're going to review step 3 of this process. And we went through step 2 and step 3. Step 2 is weekly priorities and weekly habits, review those. And then step 3 is to glance at your monthly goals. Yeah, you need to know what those are. And then step 4 of this process is to break out that Thursday schedule, review it. Now, here's the deal. You read it last night before you went to bed, and your subconscious mind was thinking about it all night. It was going through like a puzzle or like something out of, I don't know, what is it? Marvel's The Avengers, as you see Tony Stark, like moving things around, floating in air because he's a scientist. Like your brain is doing all of that, moving things around and making adjustments in its mind on what it needs to focus on and changing around the priority or making, figuring out how you're going to get through that action or activity. So your brain is like problem solving all night because it said you gave it an assignment before you went to bed and said, these are the things that I'm doing, like an affirmation. I am blah, blah, blah. So if these are the things, your brain is solving that problem all night. So you wake up and you pull out the schedule, and now you're going to actually execute on what you had. Now, keeping in mind that we're in the third full week, the end of the third full week of April, and keeping in mind that you had monthly goals, is it time to rewrite today? Rewrite what the plan is for today? Maybe you need to make some adjustments to it. Maybe you need to take some things off, move some things around. So you want to be mindful of that as you go through the process. And we're going to go ahead and read today's schedule. If you need to rewrite it, rewrite it. And we're going to read it to ourselves, and then we're going to read it out loud so we can activate what it is that we need to be focused on today. We're ready to hit the ground running. We're jumping on the horse and we're taking off. Okay? We're ready to go. So that is the goal, to actually make adjustments to the schedule if you need to, or to activate your subconscious mind and say, hey, the conscious mind is asking what we're doing today. Subconscious mind is, I got your list. Here's your list, buddy. And handing it off like a baton, or giving you the checklist like a construction worker. Here's what we're focused on today. And this is what we're doing. And you're going to go through and execute all of those things today, as many as you can. Okay. And then the next thing is we're going to briefly build a schedule for Friday. Briefly. So we're going to spend like a couple minutes and just write out Friday's schedule. If you didn't already do that, figure out what the main thing is. If everything goes wrong, what's the main thing you're going to focus on? So every day you should be thinking about, what is that main thing? That if an emergency happens and your whole schedule is blown up, what's the one thing you want to accomplish today, no matter what? Last but not least, we are going to focus on, or at least increase our awareness of, those things that might disrupt our schedule in some kind of way. Things that might impact our ability to sustain momentum in our business. This you will see happen every year when people are establishing their New Year's resolutions. They get going, and then one little thing trips them up and causes them to break their routine, break their habit, break their consistency. It's called a pattern interrupt. And they have a pattern interrupt, and they never get back up on the horse. Not the same. That happens to millions of people every single year. So it's going to happen to you. There's going to be a pattern interrupt. My goal, my wish, my prayer for you is that you take that pattern interrupt and you still continue to execute every day. You increase your awareness of it, that this is a pattern interrupt. This thing is going to potentially break my routine or break yourself out of a trance. And it's going to stop you from continuing on. And so if you want to continue on, you need to continue on, then you need to increase your awareness of those things. Sometimes, most of the time, these are planned things that you just like, oh, I forgot about that. But others, they are just excuses to not do the work. So we're going to eat the gremlin that is the excuse. Okay. We're not going to let the gremlin win. We're going to get back up on that horse and we're going to keep going. So if you have something that comes up that interrupts your day in some kind of way, what you're doing is you're planning for that by looking at your daily schedule and making adjustments and working that into the schedule that says, despite this doctor's appointment, despite this being the day that the insurance man is coming because I have hail damage on my roof or my roof is leaking, despite this, I got to go, take my kids to track practice or whatever. I'm still going to do these things in my business. So you're going to schedule around it. It could be a 2 hour interruption, 1 hour interruption, 3 hour interruption, whatever that happens to be. You're still going to schedule your business around that interruption. So you're still going to account for it. The other thing, and sometimes these are interruptions that we just kind of like completely forgot about it. Maybe you scheduled that doctor's appointment 2 months ago, and then now it's popping up and you completely forgot about it until you reviewed your online calendar. Yeah. If you didn't put it in your online calendar, that's a routine you need to add. But if it is in your online calendar, then now you're like, okay, I need to rework the schedule to account for this. So I can still accomplish the things that I need to accomplish to sustain consistency in my business or sustain the momentum. Um, and then the other thing is things that are going to be a bigger disruption. What are those things? Do you have family members coming in from out of town? Do you have a family member that's going in for surgery? Are you going in for surgery? So this is going to cause you to be off your schedule, off your game for a longer period of time. We're going to account for those things and we're going to be prepared for them. We're going to make slight adjustments in our schedule. We're going to reduce the things that we're working to accomplish during that window of interruption, knowing that we're going to pop back up like what is it? Those little kids play balls that you can buy at Walmart. The little bouncy balls. Maybe it's a kickball. Anyway, if you put a kickball in water and you try to submerge it like in the pool, push it down so far and it's going to pop back up to the top. The goal is whenever this interruption happens, you're going to be like a little rubber ball. And when stuff gets pushed down, okay, there's interruptions. When it's all said and done, you're going to pop back up to the surface and get back going to where you were before. So that's the goal. You're going to pop back up into the schedule. So whatever that disruption is, that interruption is, we're going to deal with it. We're going to work to sustain the habits that we're working to build. We may have to reduce the volume or the quantity of those habits, but we're still going to work to sustain them. And then we're going to pop back up when that time period is over and keep going like we were before, like we're a floating rubber ball in the ocean. Okay. All right. With that being said, my name is Nicole Whitlock. I'm with eCom Sellers. My passion is helping people in their e-commerce journey. If you're a person that feels like you need a little bit of extra support, you need a little bit of accountability, you need a little bit of support, you can schedule a free coaching session with me by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on coaching and scheduling a free 20-minute coaching session. I would encourage you to grab the eCom planner. You can go to myecomplanner.com, grab the eCom planner, use it to help you achieve all your goals in your business on your e-commerce journey. It was designed for sellers, by sellers, for sellers. And if you feel like you need some regular support, you can join our eCom Sellers Academy. We have weekly planning sessions, or weekly training sessions, not planning sessions. Weekly training sessions, you get 10 free leads every single week. You get 10 free wholesale lists every single week. You gain access to all of our tips and strategies. You gain access to a training database of over 200 training videos, depending on which type of e-commerce method you're interested in. We cover them all. And you get all that for $17.99 a month. So we encourage you to join us. And with that being said, we are going to say, I hope you guys have an amazingly blessed, successful, profitable, focused, and consistent day. I'm going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.